Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of Food is Medicine, so let's get cooking. My name's Hannah. I'm actually now a doctor. I just graduated medical school, and I'm so passionate about kind of how we can use food and use our time in the kitchen to make nourishing, healthy, affordable meals that can support our optimal health so we can live our most vibrant lives. I love cooking with you all and kind of just making it very approachable in the kitchen and just ways that we can support our overall health. Today we're doing a little bit of a DIY project. We're making broccoli sprouts in the kitchen. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. You may have seen all different sorts of sprouts at places, kind of health stores like Whole Foods. They have that little plastic container and they have a little bit of sprouts, and it's typically pretty expensive. This is a much more affordable way to do it, and also it's a lot more fun, and you're going to make a lot more broccoli sprouts, and you're just kind of able to have them around as much as you want. So I'm going to start off by talking briefly about the health benefits, specifically about this bioactive compound that broccoli sprouts are actually the most rich source of, called sulforaphane. This is a wonderful compound. We're going to touch on that. And then we're going to go into the steps about how to make broccoli sprouts from home. Super easy, super fun. If you have kids, this is a blast. If you don't, like me, still a blast. I love waking up and checking in on my sprouts. So with that, let's get started. I want to tell you guys a little bit about sulforaphane. If you don't want to hear about this part, you can skip a few minutes and then you'll be able to see just how to make these broccoli sprouts. But I think it's so important, kind of part of that therapeutic process of, visualizing when you're eating a food, visualizing the benefits it's doing for you. I think, we know that the mind and the body are so connected, and I am so passionate about knowing what you're doing for your body and how you're supporting it. And I think it's also motivating to want to, eat more of those foods that you're benefiting yourself with. So sulforaphane, it is, as I mentioned, a very bioactive compound. It has been shown to decrease kind of the free radicals in the body. It can reduce inflammation substantially, and it's also been shown to decrease multiple different types of cancer risks. So it's super, super powerful. It's one of those compounds that you really want to be getting in your diet. You can also get this from other cruciferous vegetables, but broccoli is actually the most potent kind of concentrated source of sulforaphane. And then specifically broccoli sprouts, some sources say it's 25 times more potent in the broccoli sprouts compared to raw broccoli. So you want to have broccoli sprouts in your diet. These are absolutely wonderful. So one thing I wanted to talk about as it relates to kind of inflammation is sulforaphane can actually induce the phase 2 detoxification enzyme. So we have different phases of detoxification in our body, super complex kind of biochemistry, all these different processes going on. But basically, sulforaphane can induce the enzymes involved in phase 2 of the detoxification process, which basically we know in the lives we're living today, we're being kind of bathed as we go through our lives in all these different toxins, from the foods we eat to the air we breathe, so many different things. And I'm not saying this to live in fear, but I'm saying, we have agency in, consuming foods that have things like sulforaphane. We can help to our body to detoxify from all these toxins that, we're taking in. And our body has these processes in it. So it's just kind of a way of using nature to really let the body do what it wants to do, and, providing ourselves with optimal health and the ability to heal. So really powerful as it relates to the detoxification pathway. Sulforaphane is your friend. So sulforaphane has actually shown in an interesting study in this journal called Nature. Some of you might have heard of it. It's an extremely, if not the most highest impact scientific peer-reviewed journal. And basically they looked at patients with type 2 diabetes ingesting broccoli sprouts, so just like we're about to be doing. And what they found is there was a statistically significant reduction in the inflammatory markers in these patients who were consuming broccoli sprouts for just a short period of time. So this is a wonderful way to decrease inflammation in our body. We know inflammation is correlated with so much chronic disease, and just to consume something that we know is involved in detoxification, decreasing inflammation, and neutralizing free radicals, and correlated with decreasing incidences of certain types of cancer is wonderful. So anyway, as you're consuming these, I hope that this kind of inspires you and gets you excited to kind of top some avocado toast, put this on your eggs in the morning. If you're making kind of a healthy bowl of any sort for lunch or for dinner, topping with this, these go with anything. So just wanted to give you guys a little introduction about sulforaphane and some of its benefits. Okay, so what we want to do, you will need a mason jar, and then I'm going to link kind of the specific top, but you can get these for super cheap on Amazon. It's a top that has a kind of a mesh screen, and you'll see why that's important. So you can order these on Amazon. I'll link them. Basically, you put this on top as you would another cap, but it's just that it has some holes on the top, and specifically made kind of for things like sprouting different seeds, like sprouting broccoli sprouts, for example. So I like to take about 3 tablespoons. I have these broccoli seeds right here. Okay, this is, yeah, they are organic sprouting seeds is specifically what they're called. And I'm going to take, I think, 3 tablespoons. That should give plenty. And this process takes a few days, but it's really fun, and it's very low maintenance. It really doesn't take much time, as you'll see. So put about 3 tablespoons of broccoli sprouting seeds here. And then I'm going to put the cap on the top, okay? And before we actually, there we go, we got it on. So it's just going to stay like this. Before we actually kind of start the process, I like to wash the seeds first, and that's recommended. So we're just going to pour some water onto our seeds at the sink. And I want to come here so you guys can see, but really giving them a good wash, okay? Rinsing everything through. And then this is why we have our nice top, so you can just drain it like this. Getting rid of all that water. Just wanting to make sure that we're starting with some nice clean seeds, okay? I'm going to do that about 1 more time. It's like a little science experiment in your house. I love it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so once you do that, you have your washed seeds. You're going to fill 1 more time just so that all the seeds are in water. I'm going to fill about halfway. Some people like to then put it in the refrigerator overnight. I like to leave it out on the countertop, kind of watch it as an experiment. And yeah, just going to leave it overnight. When I check on it in the morning, I am then going to pour all the water out and then rinse the seeds, pour all the water out. So basically every morning and every evening, you rinse the seeds and pour all the water out. So the only time there's actually going to be water in is overnight tonight, just to kind of get them moisturized, I like to think about. Then after that, you're rinsing, you're pouring it all out, and then you can leave it on your countertop, okay? Some people like to put it in front of a windowsill. I kind of like to do that. I have a nice window over here. I'm in Florida, so there's always sunshine. But you'll just do this and repeat this process. I like to do it in the morning and in the evening. Some people will do it just once a day. So it's very low maintenance. And the reason you're rinsing is just to kind of freshen them up, make sure that they have enough moisture. And you also just want to assess, some people have, found that they might sometimes get like some sort of like, I don't know, I've never had this happen, but some sort of like bacteria or some weird odor. So definitely just make sure you're using your senses. If it does smell bad, I would remake the batch and try and make sure that you wash better. But I've never had an issue with that for, the many times that I've done this. So just if you smell something that doesn't smell good, don't eat it. So basically we're going to do that. I'm going to follow up with you guys over the next few days, just kind of with little video updates about how it looks and how the final product is. But that's really it. So let me fill this up to about, I'm going to use filtered water because I'll be sitting in this. But I'm going to fill this up about halfway. And then swirl it around. Wonderful. Make sure I'm getting all the seeds on the top. And then I'm just going to let it sit. So let it sit on the counter. Probably going to leave it by my sink. And then in the morning, I'm going to drain it, add more water, drain it. Evening, add more water, drain it. And do that as many days as you need until you see a lot of sprouts. The jar can get entirely filled if you want. You can stop whenever you want. You can start using the sprouts. You can let them grow some more, whatever you prefer. It's entirely up to you. Once they are fully sprouted, it's best to keep them in the refrigerator with like a little bit of a paper towel. And I'll show you guys that process as well, kind of as the days proceed and as we're kind of watching them grow. So next few slides are just going to be that. And I hope you guys enjoy. It's so much fun, little science experiment in the house. and now you know about some of the benefits of the sulforaphane and how this can really benefit your overall health. So thanks so much for joining, and enjoy the little progression. Okay, you guys, day 1 after filming. Here's how they looked. Just put the video down, and I'm filming on my phone right now, so apologies for the poor quality. We're gonna keep the updates coming, so I'm leaving these guys here overnight. You can put them in the fridge if you want, and then we'll be back in the morning. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon.